everyone. This is Katie, the Novel Stitcher. It is Tuesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, and this is Flosstube 42. It's been a while since I've been on Flosstube, probably about 3.5 months, and the reason for that is I'm pregnant. So my husband Alex and I are expecting our first child, a baby boy, in early May. And so just a lot going on in a different phase of life, and I haven't been stitching quite as much earlier in the fall, but my stitchy bug is slowly returning. The first trimester was a little bit rough, as it sometimes is. Morning sickness, holiday nausea, food aversions, exhaustion, all those fun things that come with forming a little life. But I'm feeling much better now. We're about halfway through the pregnancy, and a lot of those symptoms have faded or gone away. Still some tiredness and aches and pains and that kind of thing, but mostly back to normal, which is great. And so I've been stitching a little bit more lately, which is also good. So I hope you're all well. I don't think I have any new subscribers, but if you're new here, welcome. I'm going to be probably a little bit sporadic for quite a while, but I hope you'll still consider joining and watching my videos as I do post them. And of course, if you're a returning subscriber, I'm so happy to be back with you. I know a lot of you were wondering where I went off to, and so that is the reason. But I do have a little bit to share with you, so I thought I would hop on here and say hi around the holidays and show you the few things that I have been stitching. So I have one new start and 2 whips. I have some plans for the next week or so, because beyond that, plans are just going to be whenever, whatever. One piece of haul. I haven't been buying much because I haven't been stitching much, and then no bookish update this week. Probably in my next video I'll try to do like top 5 favorite books of 2024 maybe. I don't think I read a ton this year, maybe 14 books or so, maybe less than that. So I haven't been reading much either, stitching or reading, but hopefully as the winter months progress I will get back to reading more as well. So let's just dive in with the stitching. So my new start is from the Jingle Ball, so I hope some of you attended. I didn't go into any stitchy rooms. I was just kind of tired, and my parents were visiting that weekend and doing a whole bunch of Christmassy things. But I did hop in to watch some of the recorded entertainment, which is always a blast, and to pick up some new patterns, because why not? And I hadn't done any stitchy shopping since like early September, so I figured I'd treat myself if I saw a few things that I liked. And so the first pattern that caught my eye that I started is Magic of Christmas by Tidy Modernist. And this was an exclusive for the Jingle Ball, so unfortunately I don't think you can get this pattern right now. Often the designer will release it in a year or so, so you may be able to pick this up from Tidy Modernist sometime next year, hopefully, if she decides to release it. But I thought this was just super cute and immediately caught my eye. And I knew I had some blue fabrics and I loved the way that looked, so I was just hoping I had something that worked for it. And I actually had this Blue Moon Java by R&R Reproductions that I got a couple years ago with no idea what I would stitch on it. I just liked the color, and I think it's going to work perfectly for this. So that is my small start, but not too bad considering I haven't been stitching much lately. So this is 30 count Blue Moon Java by R&R Reproductions. I've never stitched on 30 count before, but it's nice. This is a little stiff, but it's not too bad of a fabric, and I love the color. It looks a little more gray on screen here, but it's definitely got more of a blue hue to it. And I'm just using the called for DMC, 2 strands of DMC over 2 linen threads. And that deer took me a little while. Since I haven't been stitching much, my counting was off quite a few times, but I finally got him done. I was like, I need to finish him before I film, so at least have him to show. And then there's another reindeer that goes off this way, and then Santa. So I think I will move in that direction and continue stitching on this over the next couple of days for Christmas. So I think he's so sweet. Look at that little deer. And I think the colors, they're all kind of just mishmashed, but they're very pretty and bright, but not super non-Christmassy, because I am more and more a traditional kind of color person when it comes to Christmas colors. So that one's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying stitching on that. And the 30 count is nice, especially at night when I'm feeling tired. And so that was just my one new start. That's my only new start since September, but it's cute and I'm enjoying it. I don't normally keep Christmas stitching out too long after the holiday, so that'll probably get time today, tomorrow, maybe a little bit through the weekend, and then that'll get put away until next year, possibly. I don't know. We'll see what next year brings as far as actually having time to stitch. You know, I've never had a kid before, but I certainly know that infants and babies take up a lot of your time, and the exhaustion will not cease, but only continue once he is born. So we'll just see how things go with any stitching for the next year. I'm not going to make any definite plans, except for one, which is to stitch something for him, which we'll talk about. So the other two were whips that I worked on. So the first one I pulled out was Plum Samplers, This Joyous Season. Absolutely love this pattern. I love stitching on it, so I knew I needed to get at least a few stitches on this one this year before Christmas passed us by. And I'm stitching this one on 36 count Steinbeck by Needle and Flax, which is probably my favorite fabric. I just think it's like the perfect color for these kind of stitches. Every single color pops on it. And it's just so soft and nice to work with. And I'm using all DMC. So I didn't go with any of the fancy floss or overdyes for this one, just straight DMC. And so since you saw this last, which was probably last Christmas or during my whip parade, notice my needle, I need to find my needle minders. But I had sound, so I did finish the N and the D, I and G, and then I finished some of these leaves here, this flower, and started on this flower. So not a ton of progress on this, but it's coming along slow and steady. I mean, that house is going to take me years. It's just going to take me a very long time, but I really enjoy stitching on it, so that's good. So that is Repeat the Sounding Joy, or This Joyous Season. I want the pattern to be called Repeat the Sounding Joy, but it's not. But I just think that's really pretty, and I like that line from Joy to the World. So a little bit of progress on that, not too bad. And then the other whip I worked on, which this kind of got me back into stitching, got my stitchy bug going again a little bit. I get together about once a month, though I didn't in the fall because I wasn't feeling well, but once a month I get together with some stitchy friends. Sally, Caitlin, Stitch, Read, Repeat is her Flosstube. I'm pretty sure that's the correct name, so check Caitlin out. She is one of the nicest people, so it's always nice to see her, Colleen, and a couple other ladies, and once a month we get together at a local Panera, and just usually on a Sunday, and just stitch for a couple hours and chat stitching. And it's so nice to be able to talk about stitching with people in person and just to get together with some friends. And so we met a few weeks ago now, and so I wanted to bring something Christmassy but something easy, so I brought Santa's Young Buck with me. This is a Teresa Kogut. So cute. I love Teresa Kogut, and I always want to have one going, so I think I don't have any. Well, I do have her Hometown Sal, which I have not worked on at all or even downloaded some of the patterns for, so I'm probably way behind on that one, but that's through her Patreon. It's like a little town, a little village. But I think I'll need to get another Teresa Kogut going, a smaller one for spring. But this one's super cute. And so I am stitching Santa's Young Buck on just a 32 count light taupe Lugana. So very easy stitching. And here's where I'm at. So it'll be a little hard to hold this up and point to, but here, I'll just use this hand. I did a lot of his beard. I think I'm almost done. I got a bit more to go. The beard is a lot. It's a lot of white stitching. And then I did like this band. I had like this part all done. And so mostly I've just been working on him. And as Santa should be, he is a big boy. So that's going to take a while to get him all stitched. A lot of red stitching. is going to have to happen for him. But I just love this one. It's so cute. Teresa Koket's patterns are just so easy, and doing it on the 32 count Lugana just makes it really simple. And this is all the call for DMC, so mostly DMC today. So yeah, very cute. And once again, I'll probably only keep this out for another day or two, and we'll see how much I get stitching on in the next couple days. It would be nice to maybe at least get like finish his face. So maybe that's what I'll focus on, finishing up the rest of the beard, his little face, and maybe his hat if I have time for that, just to get him so he's not faceless. So, and then maybe depending, I will work on this some next year, hopefully. And then these are just the DMC, all nice and neatly organized. Whatever. I don't need to be organized at this point in life about stitching things or things other than bringing a child into this world. And so that's all I worked on. So, but not bad, all things considered. That was all basically in the month of December. And then I do have some plans for the next week. So I was thinking of New Year's and New Year's Eve, and I know a lot of people do New Year's 12 by 12, where you stitch 12 projects in the 12 hours, or maybe I guess you do 12 new starts, you can, or you could work on 6 new starts, 6 whips, or 12 whips, or there's all kinds of permeations of how people do it. And so I wanted to do something, because Alex and I don't really go out on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. We'll watch a movie, we'll order in Chinese on New Year's Eve probably, but mostly just be hanging out. And New Year's Day, I think we're going to go to his parents for dinner, but that'll be in the evening. So I'll have a lot of time to just hang out and stitch if I want. And so I was thinking I would do 5 things for 2025, 1 new start, and 4 whips. And so the new start, I will have to share in my next video. I think it's by Heart and Hand, and it's a tiny little sampler, and that's going to be for a little baby. So I wanted to do something, and I think Colleen might have sent this to me, so thank you, Colleen, if you're watching. But I wanted to do something small, simple, straightforward, more modern. I could put a picture here. I forget the name of it, so I'll put a picture here and I'll scroll it. I'm getting it today. I ordered it from 123 Stitch, and it's coming today, but our mail doesn't come till the evening usually. So I forget what this is called, but I thought it was cute. It's simple, and I think it's doable, like considering my energy levels and time to stitch and everything like that before he is born. And then I like the idea of just putting in his name and his birth date. I don't really need a sampler with his weight and size and all of that, those statistics. Just something cute and simple that he can just have with him. That's easy to just, put up on a wall or put on a dresser or something. And I just thought it's really cute. So that will be for little baby. And so we will start that either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, unless I decide I want to start it sooner, because it's coming today and maybe tomorrow I'll be like, I need to start it. So we'll see. But I'll definitely work on it New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So that's that one. And then so I'll do that, new start, and then try over New Year's Eve and New Year's Day to work on 4 whips. And so the first whip is falling out of the bag that I want to work on. And this will stay out through the next couple months to work on a little bit here and there, is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. I'm sure you've seen this on a million floss tubes, but it is just that pretty that a lot of people stitch it. And I absolutely love it, and I haven't touched this since last winter. I think I kind of wanted to make a goal of finishing it this year. That did not happen. We're not that close. Though actually looking at it, there's probably more progress than I thought I made on this, because I haven't looked at it in a long time. And so this one is on a 36 count summer khaki linen, which is funny that it's Winter Rose Manor on a summer khaki. I just realized that as I was making my notes today. It's going to be hard to show the whole thing. I don't actually know if I need the board with this one. I might be okay. Yeah. And so, sorry it's wrinkled. I haven't taken it out of the bag since probably last year or early this year. I I guess I probably worked on it in January and February of this year. So not too bad. More progress than I think I thought. I don't think I thought I had some of that house going with the windows and such. So it's beautiful. I just love this one. And, you know, fits perfect on the fabric. I got all the way down to the bottom there. Hopefully the borders on the sides match up. But that house is big and it's going to take a lot of time. And I feel like I'm maybe still missing a flower from the basket. It's possible. I feel like there's another flower that looks a little incomplete. Let me see. Yeah, there's one more flower. So I have to stitch this flower. I don't know why I just decided to not finish that and move on. Maybe I just really wanted to get to the house, but I got that big old house to do and all of that other stuff. So, but I'll work on this a little New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. And I just put my initials on it, KD for my maiden name, but I will be changing my name to Alex's last name. I have to go through that process. So I have my social security card, but I need to go to the DMV. And I'm using all the call for fancy floss, except for, I don't know if, trying to remember if roasted marshmallow was the snow or the house. Maybe the house. No, the house I think was conch initially. And if you can tell, it's more of like a sand, like a beigey sand color. And I just it didn't give me that pink Rose Manor vibe. I mean, I think it looks much more pink in how it portrays here. And so I think it was Cross Stitch Kate was also stitching this and felt the same way. And so she had recommended Week Star Works Chablis or Chablis. And so I went with that for the house. And it's a little bit hard to see with the sun coming in, but it's got much more of like a pink with like a very pale, there we go, purple undertone. And so I think that it looks really nice. So that was the one substitution that I made. So if you're thinking of stitching this, just consider that the called for might not give you that pinky tone for the house. And then another one that I want to work on that I've really enjoyed and I find very comforting to stitch is Nordic Heart by Modern Folk Embroidery. And so that's the progress I made there. Oh, because it's a PDF. That's what it looks like. And that's the progress I made there. And this is being stitched on a 40 count, just natural raw linen, straight Zweigart. And I am using DMC 498. It's almost a very Christmassy red, very pretty red. And I just think it's lovely. I think it's gonna be so pretty. I can't wait to finish it and frame it, but this one will also probably take me a while, but I made quite a good bit of progress this year on this one. And again, it's just really easy stitching, very relaxing with the monochromatic. So I'll be pulling that one out. And then this one I'm hoping I can finish this year. I really have a lot done, and it's just easy, is You Got This by the Artsy Housewife. So I love that little owl and his coffee mug. It's just so cute. A lot of her patterns just aren't really my style, but this one just called to me. And I initially was going to stitch this and put it up in my cubicle, but depending when I finish it, if I am home and no longer working, or I will not be at work for many months for maternity leave, I'll probably put this up in the house somewhere. But this will probably be a good one with a newborn in the house for Alex and I. We got it. And I have not been drinking much coffee lately. You can drink like a cup of coffee a day when you're pregnant. It's not dangerous to do that, but that's one of the food aversions that has not gone away is wanting to drink coffee. Though I do think once the baby is born, I will be drinking a lot of coffee. But for now I'm more in a hot chocolate mood. So, which works at this time of year. But You Got This is being stitched on a 28 count Whisper Lugana. So nice mix of fabric sizes and types this time around. I like 40 count linen and 36 count, but I also like mixing it up with other counts. And so that's 28 count Whisper Lugana and just the called for DMC for the most part. I did pick, and I'll show him again in a second, but I did pick, I'm a little messy here. I'm like missing some of this. Okay. Well, for the mug, I'm doing Cool Azul, but currently on here, this is all I have. So I know there's more, and I must have pulled it off of here, and it must be just lying in the bottom of a bin somewhere. It's not in this bag. It is somewhere. If not, I'll have to order more. But I'm sure it is rolled up in a ball somewhere among my stash. But I decided to do this for the mug. Just because I think this was like darker than I wanted it to be. I just didn't love that. And that one is Blue Moon by Classic Colorworks, but I liked a brighter color. So I was wondering how much I actually had done of him, but he's all done. That flower is all done. So to finish this and the other flower really should be doable before May. So we'll see. And I might change the color inside the mug, but I haven't decided whether I want to keep that brown or do a different color inside there. So we'll have to think about it. Maybe like a light pink might be nice. But that's Mr. Owl, and I like him. It would be nice to finish like one thing before the baby is born besides his birth sampler, because I think that might be like my only 2 finishes for the entire year, possibly, depending how life with a baby goes. So maybe I will make that my one goal, is to do the sampler and to finish that one. And then the last one I'm going to work on over New Year's is, and this was started for the book club, and I'm sorry to everyone who was really enjoying the book club, and now it's kind of on pause, on hiatus, but, you know, life. And so this is One Stitch at a Time by La Di Da. Beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. I just thought this was so beautiful when it came out. I'm pretty sure at Market in March. I just love this one. And so I'm using all of the called for Weeks Dye Works. Again, just thrown in a Ziploc. But nice neutral colors. And then this one is being stitched on a 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. And again, it's pretty wrinkled, but that's okay. And the sun is starting to come out. It was snowing a little this morning and sleeting, which was almost kind of nice for Christmas Eve, but now it's warming up, which is nice. Alex and I might go for a short walk later, trying to make sure I get my exercise. There we go. So that's all I have done for this one. And as you can tell, I really like to skip around. I don't know if you like, do you start and just like go across and then go down, or do you just kind of like jump here and there as you're kind of able? I'm definitely stitch a couple words. That was fun. Now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to do the tree. Maybe I'll go back to the words. Maybe I'll do another tree. I think next to the tree is the house. Maybe I'll want to start on the house. I haven't done these things yet, so maybe I'll do those. So, I mean, also it's a Q-snap thing, right? If it's in the Q-snap and, you know, you hit the end of the Q-snap there, you're probably just going to move down instead of having to move the Q-snap. But maybe some people just move it and get certain parts of it done. But, yeah, the sun's getting in the way a little bit, but we're almost done here. It's going to be a short video, but this one's really pretty. And I really enjoy stitching on this one. So those will be my New Year's Eve projects to work on. And part of that too is to just get other projects kind of going and into rotation. since I've only been working on the Christmas. Christmas usually goes away at the end of the year. And so those 4 projects plus the new start for baby will probably be a lot of what I work on in January and February. But I'm not going to limit myself to new starts just because, you know, he's coming. I won't really work on them much, but I'm still going to start new things if I'm feeling up for it, and, you know, stitch what I want and pull things out here and there and make what progress I can without it having any really big plans or anything. And then I have the one piece of haul. And technically, I think this comes out in 2025, like according to the inside, the publication date. But my parents visited a couple weeks ago, and we went to Winterthur. It's an old DuPont mansion that is now like a museum. And at Christmas, they decorate the downstairs of the mansion, like all the different rooms with different Christmas trees. And you can just wander through them and see all the old furniture and see this really old, fancy rich people house. There's gardens and stuff. Obviously we weren't able to do that. It was pretty cold and there's no flowers, but I'd like to go back in the spring or summer. Especially be nice to take the little one when he's a little older, just to roll him around in the stroller and see all the pretty flowers and gardens and stuff. But that was really nice. And so they have a little shop next door to the mansion, and my mom said if I saw something I liked, she'd buy me a surprise for Christmas. And so I walked into the section that has like all the books, and this was like literally right there sitting on a stand, and I was like, well, I'm getting that. And so this is Quaker Samplers, The Ultimate Collection of Traditional and Modern Designs by Leslie Wilkins. And I just saw it and picked it up and was like, a cross-stitch book in the wild. And my mom said she'd buy me something. Like, that's happening. It's a really nice book. It's big, it's nice and thick. Again, it says, I'm sure it's probably available. But it says first published in 2025. So I guess they had it early and they put it out. And it has like a little bit of a history. And I'm wondering if part of the reason why it was sitting out on display is because of this Westtown school section. And so this is in Pennsylvania, Westtown, and they had a school, and it was to provide Quaker children with education. There's a lot of Quaker stuff around here. And so the girls made samplers there, and a lot of the samplers they made was based off this Ackworth school, which I guess is where a lot of Quakers kind of originated. And the tie-in is that obviously Westtown is in Pennsylvania, but it's actually really, really close to where I live, the area. And so I was like flipping through this, and I was like, oh wait, like local history involving cross-stitch. That's really cool. So I'm sure there's like other stuff around here that has cross-stitch connections that I just don't know about. But it's really nice. I don't want to show any of the patterns, and my board ran away. But it just has a bunch of different samplers or different designs in it. And it basically gives you all the stitch count and the information you need in DMC. And on this side is some of the actual patterns, so I'm covering it. But like, that's an example of one of the beautiful Quaker patterns. And next to it, it has like very small, it has the pattern, but also in the back, it has like a full page of the pattern, which is nice. Because at first I was like, ooh, that's a little small. But it has them like full pages, full color. And so I think I might start, let me see if I can find it. I don't want to show the pattern. Never stitch out of a book, so we'll see how I like that. Just following a pattern from a book. We don't have a printer, which I guess is probably something I should buy soon. But I like this one. And so I might stitch that. And I think I'm going to pull from Stash. I think she uses all DMC, which is nice in this book. Make it really accessible. But I think I have a lot of classic color work stash, and I'm going to pull from that and see what colors I like. I think I'm going to start this one sometime in the next couple months. So that will be one of my new starts. So I think that's really pretty. But there's a lot of pretty patterns in this. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you like Quakers and, you know, all kinds of books that show Quakers, like, another nice thing she does in the back of this book, and I don't know anything about this author or her credentials, so I'm not sure really who she is. I'll just show like one, so I'm not really, or part of one. No, maybe I won't be able to do this. In the back, she just has like all the little medallions. So like each separate. So you could like design your own if you want. You could take all these little elements. There's like at least 2 or 3 dozen she has in the back taken from all of these. It's like this. She has all of these little elements just on their own in the back, the pattern for it. And then so like you can make your own Quaker if you want. You could like take these little medallions and elements that she has all in the back. And she even has like 1 sheet of graph paper, I think, in the back. And you could like kind of create your own little Quaker. So I just thought this was really nice, and I don't have any cross-stitch books, so kind of like a keepsake too. So if you're interested in that, Quaker Samplers by Leslie Wilkins. And I think that is all I have. So half an hour, not bad. Again, I'll try to film when I feel like it, probably in the next couple weeks. If I make progress on those New Year's Eve, New Year's Day projects, and if I start Little One Sampler, I can show off that, and then maybe at the end I'll do a little bookish roundup of some of the books I most enjoyed that I read this year. My mom did get me a Kindle, so that was my like, you're pregnant, you need a present. First trimester roughness present. So I think that'll help my reading a little bit. I love to read physical books, but I just think like sometimes like I'm on the couch and I don't have like I have my stitching light, but it's not always plugged in. I don't have a reading light next to me, and like I'm lazy, I'm tired, and I'm pregnant. So like the Kindle has its backlit. So I think that'll help me to read if I'm just like, maybe I'll read a little of this book and I don't even have to get up. I'll just grab it from the nightstand. And then to just be able to like download books as I'm interested and not trek out to the bookstore or anything. So still want to support local indie bookstores and stuff like that, which I have been doing, but the Kindle is just kind of like a nice convenience. And then once baby's born, depending how exhausted I am and how things go, you know, while I'm holding him or he's sleeping or something like that, the Kindle's just easy to hold in one hand and read for a little bit here and there. So I definitely want to be reading to him and all of that good stuff. So so we'll see how often I film, at least, you know, at least every 2 or 3 weeks, maybe up until April, and then all bets are off. So if you want to know updates and things like that, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll certainly be still posting on there from time to time, even after he's born. So it's novel_Stitcher. So if you're not following me there, that might be one of the best places to get some updates from me. I'll be a little bit cautious of how much I share, but I will be sharing at least the news of his birth and pictures of his little feet and stuff like that. You know, there's just a lot of things to consider in the social media age with how much you want to share of your child, their name, what they look like, pictures, things like that, and it's up to every mother and father or parent to decide how much they want to show. No judgment on anyone if you show everything or if you show nothing. You know, that's a judgment call that every parent has to make for themselves. And so we'll just see how we feel about certain things. But, you know, anyone could kind of see your social media unless it's locked down. So like YouTube especially, I don't think I'll be showing any pictures of him on here because anyone could stumble across this video and watch it. And I just think that privacy is important, especially comes to children who don't have a say in being shown on video or social media, and B, there's just some sketchy bad people out there who will use the images for bad purposes. But I'll be sharing what I can and what I feel comfortable with. So you'll certainly still get updates from me. And I hope you'll continue to stay subscribed and watch when I do film. And I'm probably going to go because now the sun is really coming out. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully this was not too much of a mess, considering it's been 3 months since I filmed, so I'm probably a little bit out of sorts. But let me know how you are, what you've got going on with you. Do you have anything exciting coming down the line in 2025, or any fun holiday plans this weekend? Would love to hear from you. And for those who celebrate, a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Kwanzaa, and a happy everything else, because I know there's a lot of different holidays that are celebrated at this time. So whatever you celebrate or whatever you brings you joy, I hope you're doing that this season and having a really good end to the year. And I hope you all have a really good start to 2025. It's going to be a very busy year for me and Alex. It's going to be a crazy one, but we're excited for it. So thank you all for watching, and happy stitching and happy reading.